Hey everyone, welcome to Reddit Readout. Today we are checking out AmItheA whole. Story 1. AITA for asking my 25M girlfriend 29F to make my plate of food differently than she was serving to others. So, I recently became official with the lady I've been dating for 6 months. We decided to have the first barbecue of the nice summer weather in our area at her place. We don't live together currently. She decided to make steaks and baked potatoes, and I made some side salads, and I also was responsible for the drinks and chips. As my girlfriend got cooking, it just panned out that she ended up plating and serving to people as her steaks finished resting. When I went over to watch her plating, I noticed she had put butter and herbs and stuff all over the steaks. My family doesn't do this and I've never seen it done this way, so I asked her, politely, if she would put mine aside and I would do my fixings. I just want my steak with ketchup, I'm pretty plain. Both she, her sister, and her dad gave me very pointed looks. Later that evening she said she felt that it was rude to the chef, her in this instance, to ask for my food separately, and that she wished I would have just trusted her to make me a nice plate of food, and that I shouldn't do that when I'm a guest anywhere. I fairly commonly politely ask for my food to be made differently / more plain when I'm a guest somewhere or at a restaurant, because I generally prefer plain food. I didn't think this was rude. AITA for asking for my own food to be served differently outside my own home. Story 2. AITA for not letting my stepdaughter, 24F, move back into my house. My stepdaughter and her boyfriend broke up recently and she wants somewhere else to stay for a few months until her lease ends, since she doesn't want to keep living with her ex. However, my wife and I have 2 little ones, 3F and 6F, and she is a terrible influence on them. She always tries to have friends over and they're always loud and shouting in her bedroom when it's past the kids' bedtimes. She's come home late drunk and triggered our home alarms because she's too wasted to turn them off. I have to remind her multiple times to do her chores, and it's just aggravating to have to do for an entire adult human. The last straw last time was when one of the little ones had a medical emergency, so we took her to the ER directly from school and asked her to watch the younger one since the babysitter had to leave. When we came back she was drunk and couldn't understand why I was so mad, since my daughter went to sleep as normal anyways. My wife keeps asking me to reconsider letting her stay with us, but I've put my foot down. I'm trying to do what's best for the kids, but my stepdaughter is also just generally a messy and unpleasant person to be around, and I don't think my mental health could take having to live with her for a couple months again. AITA. Edit. I have previously tried setting rules / boundaries with her, such as doing chores on time or keeping quiet past the kids' bedtime, but they never worked. Story 3. AITA for not waiting to use the restroom until my M26, Fian, F26, our son and dog got home. For context, I was getting out of work and gave her a call to let her know I was heading home. She told me that she wasn't home, 30 minutes away, but that she was gonna pick up our dog from her parents' house and she would either let our son play there for a bit or just leave him there and head home. She essentially said, don't expect me to be there as soon as you get home. I get home from work in a suit and it's hot outside, so all I'm thinking about is taking off the suit and using the restroom. I do that, and as I'm sitting on the toilet I check her location and see that she's like 6 minutes away. I'm thinking, fuck, she's gonna get upset because she needs my help getting inside the house with our dog or something. I was shocked to see her get home 10 minutes after I got home. Not only that, our son was also with her, pretty much contradicting what she said earlier. I texted her, sorry I'm in the restroom RN, when I saw her parked outside. When I get downstairs she was pissed that me using the restroom was more of an urgency than helping her get the kids inside the house. She said that I knew she was coming, so she was surprised I didn't wait, but in reality I wasn't expecting her soon. She also said that this reminds her more and more that she's able to be a single parent and doesn't need my help. Edit. After seeing some. Story 4. AITA for not paying my daughter's tuition after she refuses to talk to me. I, 45M, decided to stop paying my daughter's 19F college tuition after she blocked me basically everywhere and won't talk to me. This started about 2 years ago, when I found out my then ex-wife Bertha, 44F, had an emotional affair and kissing someone else. My ex and my daughter were really close, she was her only daughter while we had 2 younger sons. Though the divorce did change our relationship, I was still in good terms with my daughter. A couple months after that whole mess, one of my friends, Stacy, 31F, was really there for me the whole time, and we decided to get together. I don't think our relationship is wrong. We're both over 30, and actual adults. Once again, we were mostly cordial still, though I'm pretty sure my ex made some nasty remarks. Life went on until recently Stacy figured out she was pregnant. I do realize I'm older than the average dad, but once again I don't think I did anything wrong. I also proposed to her because I do genuinely love her. My sons were entirely supportive and actually pretty excited when I told them. My daughter on the other hand got super mad, and presumably this is what led to the blocking silent treatment. All of this happened during December. Stacy gave birth 2 weeks ago, and we were talking about cutting my daughter's tuition for next year because she hasn't been at any family functions and hasn't talked to me since January. She figured it out through her college portal and got really mad once again. She told about how I was marrying to a person so much younger than me and so forth. It's like she only wants me for my money and doesn't want anything to do with me. Edit. I've tried reaching out to her, asking my sons if they could reach out to her, asking mutual friends. She didn't want to talk to me at all. Story 5. AITA for being selfish and snapping at family for asking for help. I moved away at 18, didn't really talk to my family for various reasons. But I reconnected with them during a sister's wedding. Even started talking to my dad again, who I cut off due to his affair. Saw my dad's affair child, Jack 17, a couple times but he was quiet. Figured it was fine but then I noticed that everyone treats him rudely. Mostly and usually insulting his intelligence. When he tries to talk, they either zone out or shut him down. I called my sisters out on it once and they said it's just teasing and they all love him. Their main thing since they found out has been teasing him for being unlikely to graduate with the rest of his age group this year. Dad shrugged it off saying that Jack isn't too bright anyways. I guess I just made it my mission to help Jack out. Took a lot of convincing but Jack accepted my help and after loads of effort and hard work, Jack will be walking the stage. I talked to his school for options, tutored him in things I specialize in, paid for tutoring for things it too well, helped him set up online classes and join volunteer programs etc. He even joined his school's baseball team. Though he's taking a gap year to work on some more stuff, I'm so proud of him and the effort he put in. And everyone's faces when they found out that he will in fact be graduating was the best. Except now they all want me to tutor their kids. No matter how many times I've said no, they don't stop. They call me a miracle worker and say if I did it for Jack, I can do it for the smarter kids. Being honest, I DC about their kids. They're all fine. And if this is weird, but this is something I did for Jack. This is how we got close and I want it to remain our thing. My aunt begged me to help her daughter that's failing some class yesterday and I was tired and upset because I didn't want to be where I was then my dad joined in saying that I could cut out some of my Jack time, I'm still helping him, to help his niece. I snapped at them. I don't want to help your stupid fucking kids Jesus fucking Christ go hire a real tutor and stop fucking bothering me. I didn't mean to swear so much but my aunt was horrified and my dad got upset and asked me if I was only pretending to be educated because I certainly don't sound like I am. He told me that he doesn't want me in his house if I'm so upset at the thought of helping family. AITA? Because I don't think so. I admit that I may be a little selfish but I just don't have the energy or desire. Story 6. AITA for accessing my dad's phone and deleting a pic of me. My family and family friends were abroad at a hotel resort. I, 18M, don't like shirtless pictures of me being taken. This holiday, I was pretty much allowed to do my own thing. That was mainly, sleep, eat and enjoy the pool. To that end, my days only ever overlapped with family and family friends in the evenings. One night, halfway through the holiday, during dinner I told them that I would come with them to the beach. The beach was a 10 minutes walk away. I specifically said no photos at the beach. And they agreed to this. At this point also, it's been a fact for years that I don't like my photo being taken. So it's nothing new. Skip to next day, we are walking to the beach and I remind them. Please don't take any photos of me. At the beach, all is well with the world. I decide to put sun cream on and to do this I take off my top. Then once done, I go for a swim in the sea. I didn't put my top back to swim because I didn't want it to get wet. I'm swimming and my dad takes pictures of me without my consent. I shake my head, put my arms up and tell him to stop but he continues and smiles while doing so. I then start to confront him. Why did you do that? I specifically asked you not to. Then he goes on the defensive. You're my son, I can take pictures of you if I want. I later sneak onto his phone and delete the pictures myself and he gets even more annoyed. Also for anyone wondering, if he had asked me if he could take a photo, I would have put my shirt back on and let him. I understand that he wanted to take a pic of me to commemorate the time at the beach and that's cool, but he done the one thing I asked him not to and I know these photos go on Facebook and that's my exact fear. I don't need a shirtless photo being seen by all of my extended family and friends. There is also the part where I know changing/accessing things on people's phone is not cool but I know he wasn't going to delete the pics. Dr. asked dad not to take pic of me, does it anyway and then I delete said pic. Story 7. AITA for not inviting my parents or sister to my graduation because I didn't want to deal with the disappointment. My parents have always put my sister Cassie first. Cassie did need extra support, as she does have genuine issues with depression and anxiety. But they refused to compromise, it always came at my expense. The final straw was my high school graduation back in 2019. Cassie had a pageant at the same time. The plan was for both of our parents to attend the first half of Cassie's pageant, our mother would stay at Cassie's pageant, dad would leave to attend and record my graduation. Before dad was about to leave, Cassie said she was having anxiety and needed them both there. He texted me to find my own ride home from graduation. I had been so hopefully that my parents would finally follow through with their promise to be there for me. In the honors sector class photo, I was the only student who didn't have any family members come. I felt awful. My mother, dad, and Cassie were already home when I got back. They had ordered dinner and were celebrating Cassie's pageant. They didn't even seem to remember or care about me and my graduation. My parents tried to act friendly and congratulate me but I ignored them. My mother tried hugging me but I pushed past her. I decided then that I just couldn't depend on them not to disappoint me. My graduation was 3 weeks ago. I didn't even bother reaching out to my mother, dad, or Cassie. I gave my ceremony tickets to 2 friends and donated the rest. My mother and dad reached out to me, saying they just learned about my ceremony through social media. Neither of them went to college, so they assumed that the college got out at the same time as the local high schools. They asked why I hadn't even asked them. I told them that they've proven that I can't depend on them by always leaving me as a second thought to Cassie. I know she has issues and needs extra support, but they never even tried to compromise and I didn't want to deal with the disappointment again. My parents told me that they and Cassie were heartbroken that their daughter/sister would disregard them this way. We do have other family members who my parents are much closer with after the pandemic. We were not really involved with each other before, which is why they weren't at my graduation, and why we didn't go to their kids' graduations. They know both sides of the story, but told me I was an asshole. They said how my parents felt so bad about my high school graduation, and that I was being selfish and denied my parents the chance to make it right and finally be able to put their guilt behind them. I switched my social media to private to avoid these. That's all for today. Please don't forget to like and subscribe.